What is up, everybody? It is Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2020, Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner, given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers. It's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And as always, I'd like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. And it is Saturday, September 23rd. Family, September is almost done. September is almost done. My gosh. But we have had fantastic weather this week in Toronto. It's been like Fahrenheit wise, anywhere between 70 and 75 degrees, sunshine, no humidity. As my dad would say, be a beautiful weather. You can work outside, enjoy outside on the patio, no sweat, no humidity. Very nice, very nice. And we're broadcasting and we're having a good time. And just a few things before we get our friends and family up here. So first things first, if you want to subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show, why haven't you? Why haven't you? Subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. Also, like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Also, if you want to advertise on the Dr. Vibe Show or any of the conversations I host, email me dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. We have been on for a little bit in regards to state of things with Aisha, Jill and LaLa, and we were chatting before we went live. There's been lots of things going on in our lives these days. And, you know, sometimes you just need to put the brakes on, take a break, and come back. So before we get Jill and LaLa up, you'll notice that Aisha is not with us today. It is Aisha's birthday today on September 23rd. So she said she's taking a birthday weekend off. So she'll be back next episode. But the show goes on with Jill Jones.
Hello.
With LaLa Key.
Howdy.
What's going on? What's going on? How's everything in your worlds?
Good. Better.
Yeah, Jill's had some challenging times with her puss, as we would say back
Yeah.
home. Puss. What's the update on the puss?
I think we're doing the subcutaneous fluids and all of that IV, and I think we're in a convalescing kind of hospice situation, perhaps. We would love to have more time with her, but we're trying to just enjoy the time that we have left because she has kidney failure. And, you know, as most cats and dogs in America it's a very high rate here. Some say it's environmental, food, all of it. I mean, we are the country of the sick, the infirm. They make money off of us. They pimp us one way or another, even our animals. And so Ash is hanging in there. She rallied around the other day. We've been taking her out for a walk here and there. And that can be misleading because you start to think like, oh, we did this once before and she came back stronger. But I think our girl is I think it's tiring. And we will go by her cues as to what to actually do with all, humanity here. And kindness and love. So, yeah, she's given us so many great things. It's incredibly difficult and sad.
Jill, I want to ask, where did your love for animals start? Where did the origin of that come from?
Since I was a little kid, I've always liked cats and dogs and horses. And in fact, on my album, liner notes, you'll see that all the things I wrote, babies, horses, dogs, cats. I remember Jean-Baptiste Mondino, the director of the video, said he didn't ever understand why I was in music because I was so not the person that he'd ever met, those types of people. I was so different. He said, you like kids and babies and dogs, cats, horses, and just anything. And just, it was kind of one of the best compliments I've ever had. And I should have followed that and just been like, bye. But I think I went in the music business now for myself to be able to tell people about the nightmare that it was for women.
Hear you. LaLa Key. on
Yeah.
travel. But how was the wedding?
Oh, it was absolutely beautiful. My niece got married and we gained a new member in our family, and it's Jada and Georgie.
Oh,
And
nice.
the love for those two just shooting out of their eyes and their vows, it just gives you a new sense of hope and a new generation. They are very solid. Matter of fact, they actually kind of remind me of me and hubby at that age. And I just
Hmm.
couldn't be more tickled. I just had a beautiful time with my family. I'm all loved up. You know, sometimes you just need to,
I'm all
you
loved
just,
up.
yeah, sometimes you just need to go and let
Important.
everybody hug you. And I mean, when I say I let everybody hug me, I was all over them. I mean, you know, the opposite of what we did at COVID, you
Right.
know, but family is extremely important to me. And especially this year,
Yeah.
after losing my sisters, it's become even more important. And it my direction in life has changed quite a bit.
Yes.
I look back on some of my journals that I do, and even this year, I was like, yeah, that didn't matter. Yeah, I started to do a vision board this year, and I compared it to 20 years ago, my first vision board, and I laughed because everything on that initial vision board was a joke. My things have changed. More dreaming, more life purpose, more love, and
Hmm.
and more being able to speak out against the injustices of the world, because you can still love and still speak out. So the wedding was wonderful, and it just set my heart right.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Want to
It's funny. I've been surrounded by family too. And what about you? Wasn't your dad's birthday or something came up, Dr. Vibe?
No, well, it's interesting. You talk about family. I think the last time you were on, I
Yeah.
told you about going to the farm.
Yes, with your dad's friend.
Yeah, the 200 acres. And
Yeah.
well, here's a great family story. A lot of my relatives are still in Jamaica.
Hmm.
And one of my cousins, I don't know if I had mentioned this, she was the first Jamaican council representative in Japan. She
Oh
actually
wow!
she opened up the Jamaican Council in Japan many years ago, and she always invited me and other relatives, and I never went, and I definitely regret it now.
Hmm.
So she's been retired for a number of years, and just earlier this week, the Japanese government held a ceremony for her in
Oh,
Kingston, Jamaica.
oh
So
wow!
beautiful. Wow. That's
Like they had a
gorgeous.
big whole thing. So one of her, she has a sister that lives here and a brother that lives here. So I took them to the airport on Monday, and they went down to the event.
Sorry.
Bless you,
Sorry
bless
about
you. No problem. And they had an incredible time. I picked them up yesterday at the airport, but yeah, so they did a big full thing for her.
I love the Japanese culture. I could live in Japan. It's such a beautiful place. And I just love I think they have we need them to teach people how to have respect and decorum and etiquette and these fine principles. The Japanese just, for me, they win on that. They just win.
Mm,
They're
okay.
strong and they're soft. They're strong and
Oh,
there's tenderness. I
oh, another thing
love
too.
it.
This week, I was invited by. So I guess you have the U.S. Post Office. Well, we've talked about them before. Not too good life. So our comparable organization Canada is called Canada Post, and
Okay.
so they invited me. They just opened up their state of the art facility about 20 minutes drive from here.
Mm.
The event was on Thursday. 500,000 square feet,
Ooh.
fully carbon footprint facility,
Oh, that's lovely.
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
And they can process a package from start to finish in 4 minutes at this facility.
Oh, wow. Well,
Mhm.
honey, I hope they're better than them people who done lost and let the people steal our stuff.
I know.
But
I know.
the wonderful thing is they had a ceremony. They have named the facility after the first black postman in Canada,
Oh, I
Albert
love it.
Jackson. So
Wow.
I
they
love
had
it.
a big thing there. They invited about 400 people, all the members of his family. Ironically, his great grandson works at the facility.
Oh my God.
But it was an incredible event. I mean, it was just really amazing. That dignitaries there, this and that other thing, and actually one of his grandchildren is going to be coming on the show in the next week or two
Oh
to
my
Oh,
God,
share
I
that's
love it.
amazing.
his
That's
story.
awesome.
So that was, and it was so nice. I'll share some pictures on the nice
Oh,
segue
definitely.
uh,
Yeah.
on the Discord state of things. Luke, I'm
Yes.
just going to put it up on here too. And actually, family, we did promise it a few weeks. So someone messaged me saying, when are you guys going to have your Discord only conversation with your family? So we got to work on that when everyone gets back. And
That's
also,
true.
too, one of the things I was going to put it up here, but what I'm going to start doing with the help of the wonderful ladies, we're going to have poll questions.
Yeah, it would be nice.
You
That's
know, so
fun.
we
Yeah,
have
now that we're getting out of yeah, we need that for
so
sure.
Dickie for more. So that's another reason for you to become a member of the Discord group. And actually, I'm going to put one up right. I put one up right now. I'm also going to put in the Discord group after. But do you feel that the Black community is heading in the right direction?
No.
So no, well,
No.
that's
Oh,
all right.
okay.
It's a
We
poll.
we answer.
And there's it. So the link is there, pollev.com/drvibe 513. I'm also going to put this up in the public state of things group. But what the ladies are going to do and myself, we're going to put up poll questions. And even the members of the Discord group, if you have questions, send them to me and I'll go, we'll put it up or not. We'll decide as a group, should we put that poll question up? So that is the one right now. I also put this one up for the Morning Vibe Discord group that I run. But do you feel the Black community is heading in the right direction? So if you copy and paste that link, yes, pollev.com /Dr. Vibe. So we're going to start doing that in the Discord group because the Discord group is amazing. And speaking about the Discord group,
Right.
probably one of the fire people in that is Jen Myers. Jen
Oh
Myers,
man.
she is on fire in the Discord group.
Yeah.
And she
She is,
brings such great topics to
yes,
us,
True.
she really does. We
yes.
really appreciate you, Jen.
I'm speaking one day, even if you don't put your face on, we'd love to have you on a live
I know for
conversation.
sure. Definitely.
So,
See what makes
Jen,
her tick.
yes, so this is good. She goes congratulations to your niece LaLa.
Thank you.
Also, Wig Maniac says good evening. Wig Maniac has maybe breaking news. WGA strike appears to be coming to an end, but a lot of
That's
mixed
good.
signals put there. But it's clear that something is happening.
I hope so. Having some friends struggling. So yes, I hope.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because LaLa is, she's on her social media game. Lane 2, just a quick hi. Love you.
Mhm.
So who's Lane 2? LaLa, do you
Lane
know?
actually came from Periscope Dr. Vibe. She had a lot of wonderful content. She would have musicians on. She would do special things. Lane gave giveaways and just really I can't tell you, she's just like one of these people who just beam with light.
Okay. Well, thank you, LaLa, for sharing it on your Facebook page. I'm gonna get Jill and Aisha to do that some way, somehow. Gonna get them to do that too. So that'd be a great thing. Lane 2 says Jamaica is my favorite place.
Mhm.
All right. And she also says, that's awesome. Lane 2, that was fast.
Mhm.
Our answer
Okay.
to you. For
Yeah.
the poll.
So that's why I don't think Dr. Vibe finished his sentence before we answered. Okay. Well, I'll put the link up periodically. Also, Jen, I didn't know you liked Discord. How could I tell? Really? No, Jen, thank you. And Jen, we're waiting. We're TikToking to the day you come on.
True.
And you don't have to show your face. You can put just a picture or something up there. But we'd love to have you on. But that is at your own will. All right. It's been a while. So let's get back. Some interesting things go on. So first things first. House GOP holdouts against all defense bill dampen hopes for avoiding another shutdown. Didn't we just go through this a few months ago that there's going to be a government shutdown?
Yes.
Yep. I don't know
But
why
the
they don't
thing
write a
is,
check for a whole year. So stupid.
it is stupid. But the thing this time, no, well, it's always, period. They're trying to hold us like a ransom over top of us over things that they have done.
Yeah.
Everything that they're fussing and fighting and kicking and screaming about is something that they have set in the budget, and now they want to fight over it. And then the first thing they want to do is to cut the important programs that American people need the most. Now, you want to talk about two-faced. I mean, the Democrats haven't done this. The Republicans have. And more so, the MAGA Republicans now are being absolutely ridiculous. And
They're
on top of that,
sorry, with
the whole thing
Boebert,
is stinky.
skank.
Oh my God. The
Skank
Boebert thing,
Fidel.
if that would have been someone from
I'm
our
so done with
party,
Republicans.
they would have hung them outside.
Yeah, I'm going to judge everybody by the company they keep being a Republican. I'm sorry. She's a skank. She's, I wish somebody would be vaping in front of me at a thing. I'll tell you what, her face would have been a hamburger. Okay. We would have been throwing down because, the only reason that she didn't get her ass kicked was because of people respecting the office that she doesn't respect.
But there you go. You
little.
I was going to say the same thing.
She makes us look bad. She can't even do that right.
Really does. No,
for
she
real.
does. She absolutely does.
So let me ask, what is, let's put it this way.
Probably earning money on the side, doing back to her old tricks, because everybody knows she's a trickster. Everybody knows that she turned tricks. It's not a secret. Why do we even have to do this? And at least be good at it. Girl.
Let me ask, what
blow up bunny.
Does Kevin McCarthy, would you call him the tightrope walker?
No, I'd call him
I call him trash.
Dead. He's dead. He serves no purpose.
He shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Oh my God. His children must cringe at him. All I know is for years, for their lifetimes, people, when they say his name, it'll be the equivalent of saying Stu, because he is so awful and bad at his job. He has no backbone. It's like he probably goes home and on his kids or beats his wife. I don't know what's wrong, which one it could be. He's an awful human being.
He's terrible.
There's something really deep. No, let's be honest. There's something deeply wrong with him, and nobody's cracked it and opened it up because they're.
But it's not just him, Jill. All the ones who are pulling his strings are just as disgusting. They have to go. All of them have to go. And I'll be damned if I'm gonna. I mean, they all. We keep saying voting, but we know the problem with that right now. I mean,
he's begging for Tucker Carlson to come back after they bury old Rupert Murdoch. That Lachlan's back.
Well, by the way, I guess, Jill, you are happy that Rupert is stepping down.
And then he gives his old dusty old son. I think he's not any better. I mean, really, the apple. These aren't even apples that fall from the tree. They're demons. Who inhabited them? What are they? They're not human beings. They're awful people. They look miserable. These rich people are so miserable. I've never seen such a bunch of sad sacks. They got all the money in the world and none of them are happy.
None of them.
No, so why does this keep on happening every few months?
Why does it happen every
powerful? And no one is really doing their job because we are so divided that you can no longer have an opinion. The sky can be green one day. Oh, look at that beautiful green. And then someone will come and fight you and say it's pink and call you every single name in the book. We are divided. You can no longer have opinion. There is no unity. And it's all a piece of garbage right now. America has burned and it's still burning. And we haven't seen the worst of it yet. We haven't even entered into the major part of elections right now. And
it's
Trump and Trump with his dumb is basically just saying whatever he wants. And whatever he wants, people pick up on it and they move on. Like he literally said y'all need the MAGA Republicans. Y'all need to make sure that they drop these charges against me because this is disgusting. Now, what you think? That was actually, he wanted them to write that into the terms for the budget.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Yeah. No, she's not kidding. And it's like I got very frustrated watching the news lately. And to be honest, I got rid of a lot of streaming sites because I was like, I'm not paying money to watch this burn. You know, it's like that, you know, it's really sad, but the Democrats have started to use it. We're going to lose our democracy. Oh no, that's in the process. It's in the works. And it's all in stages. You see, everything is like, we've been talking about me looking at, you know, my cat with a terminal illness, or if anybody out there who's a caregiver to somebody, there are stages to the decline. And America is probably in stage 3. I feel it's stage 3 because there's so many things that have gotten, that have gone wrong. And I mean, we have even people who are now, because we're in stage 3, headed to stage 4. Stage 4 is when they go, I don't give a fuck, who are you? That's Clarence Thomas, who's like, do you know who I am? Which was Boebert. They're all like that. Oh yeah, I did it. So the fuck what?
Exactly.
That's stage 4. So the fact is, democracy's already been lost. It's just like the stages that we're sliding into it. And I keep begging for Democrats, like Hakeem Jeffries the other day sent out this whole thing to everybody. I don't know if you got him on his newsletter. Hey, we need money, whatever. And I was like, you know what? I had a friend who called you in New York about some stuff that was going on in their neighborhood that you were supposedly representing. And you couldn't be to call back. So you know what? I can't be to give you a cent. So, and I really mean it.
On that. None of them are getting a dime from me. None of them
smells rosy, because it doesn't. It's so, I'm so angry with the Democrats, because there's only a handful that really know how to get down. Like Eric Swalwell the other day got down when he was dealing with them at that court case, and he told
did.
Jim Jordan got up and left and ran like a freaking little, you know,
because that's what they do. Look back. Every time they cannot get their way, they get up out of these committees, they get up out of their seats, they say the most disgusting and foul things that you could say, then they get up and leave. They don't want to hear what comes back at them. But
I'm waiting on somebody to go, listen, I'll jump over this table and kick your, because that's how close. And actually, to be honest, I want my representatives to start doing it. I don't need you to stand on, well, we're not going to do. No, I want to be like, you know what? I will cut you outside. You know, that's it. You threaten me with guns. Don't you even walk to your car tonight. You know, it's sad that it's gotten to that. But when you look back and look at studies like with the Whig Party and like the times of Hamilton and all that, they actually were throwing some words.
Yes, they were. They were actually having duels. Like they would be meeting people outside talking about meet me at 3 o'clock.
Let's have a duel. Because at this point, I would love for all of them to have a duel. I would love somebody to duel Marjorie Taylor Greene. I would love somebody to duel Boebert, to even duel like Donald Trump. Go do it. So for real, like you love this country so much, challenge them to a duel. Go take care of this mess, because we need it done. Too sweet.
All right. So
honestly, we are there.
Bring the duels back. You want to bring back slavery? Bring back the duels.
Well, they want to carry their guns, don't they? They want to carry their guns. They want to talk big talk, but they don't want to walk the walk, right?
Selling wolf tickets. We know that.
There we go. There we go. Fit Nats IQ Cam. Good to have your good evening, ladies and gentlemen. That
Comer guy. Come on, please. Like, before you even try to take up a committee, let's let you duel somebody. That's how, you know, I always said that one day I thought that our government officials would be like participants in the Hunger Games or rollerball. And I would tune in for it. I would tune in, and may the best man or win.
As she sips on her wine. Okay.
Well, you know what it is, Dr. Vibe. They're so controlled by billionaires. And I have to say, I have no softness in my heart for billionaires. They have ruined the way we have to live.
Okay. Let
Just
me
not
catch up with.
interested in them.
Let me just catch up on comments as we said before. Greetings, Fitness IQ Cam. Lane 2 says he's disgusting. So I don't know who you referred to because Jill did a good paintbrush. Goes, yeah, she loves Cory Booker.
Yeah, Cory
I
Booker's
like
cool.
Cory.
Lane 2 says, yes, they should duel. And she has an emoji for it. And Lane 2 goes, LOL, wine speaking, LOL.
Well, it's really frustrating. I look at this
Mhm.
country every day and I am dealing with friends that are going through some really serious struggles.
Mhm.
And these are day-to-day things. And then I have to tune in to some government. Y'all can't take care of this. I gave you my vote. What the more do you want me to do? You know,
They
now
want
you
more
want my
money.
money too. You want the little bit of money, the tiny little bit of money that I have, and then you
Yeah.
don't do anything with it. I can't
No.
do this. I can't do this. Y'all need to like come up with a real plan. You know, how did they even think that the Boston Tea Party got planned? Somebody's got to get together and come up with a strategy and a real plan.
Well,
Not
now they're getting really stupid with these
dude who's
emails too.
managing the DNC, the one that they gave in as a pity party. What's his name? The black guy that they gave him the job because they felt sorry that he didn't win.
Which one is that?
Who runs the DNC? It's like, I'm not saying he hasn't done anything, but they need a real strategy other
They
than
do.
we're losing our democracy. Give us money. Because at this point, I'm like, you guys lost it when you keep fighting for immigration. Stop it. Come up with a real solution for immigration. I don't
Okay.
want to see people chopped up in the middle of the Rio Grande. But if I have a house party and the fire department comes and tells me I'm at capacity, you guys need to adhere to the same thing. You don't put immigrants in hotels in New York while other homeless people have been out there for
Thank you.
seasons, and you allow this. For me, no, that was a bad decision and it's not cool. It'd be better to put people on a plane and send them back, and nobody could fault you for that, for people not having their plans together or their together to get here. Because I can't do it in any other country, because Lord knows if I could immigrate somewhere else, I would be doing it. I'd be walking right now.
All right. Let's catch up on the comments here.
Anybody taking Americans who are 60 years
Well,
old?
even Lala's even saying, now, nah, that's the real Jill. The lane to, and Fitness IQ is going, LOL, duel. And also says to Jill, passion and wine.
Yes. It's been a few for me. The
Lane
broken
Lane
foot,
says,
the COVID, everything. It smells.
Yeah.
Lane says where you can find all my links. I'll put it, usually I save it till the end, but I'll put it up right here. I'll put it up quickly. Those are where you can find all my deets. So just put the DRVIBESHOW. I'm, as we say, Googleicious. So that's all you need to do. So let's get back to the main parts of our conversation.
Well, she's
here.
saying that she's in immigration and she knows that the homeless don't want to go into these places. Please tell me why, because my friends there are showing me otherwise. So I'm a little like.
Actually, Fitness IQ, Jill, saying about the immigration situation, it's happening here, especially in Toronto.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
I saw that.
Oh, yes, it's happening here. And Lane 2 goes, no, that's not right about immigration. Sorry, I'm in New York. The homeless don't want to go into these places.
Yeah, but this is the interesting thing. A friend of mine is working on the, the union went on strike with the hotels, the hoteliers. Okay. And one thing that hasn't really been publicized very largely or very broadly is that there's something that is being introduced that they want the hotels to accept homeless people. And this is a breaking point for some of the hotels. Now, this is a friend who's in the middle of the negotiations, and he said it's a stickler. It's very hard because he sees their side, and then there's the other people's side. And actually, the workers who are working in the hotels do not want to service that. They have said it. They don't. So it's beyond more about we want higher wages. There is a level of like, we don't want to service these people. There's a cultural dynamic that's happened because a lot of these hotel workers are people who actually came from these countries. but they have their own judgments about these people. And it's
let's reel it
becoming
back
very
in because this we're
difficult.
drifting a little bit
Yeah,
from
sorry.
our original conversation topic. So Wigmanicos love feast the impassionate Jill. Thank you, sir.
I don't think the immigrants should be working here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because I can't work anywhere else. In fact, I
Fitnets,
can't get a job. So I'm sorry.
Fitnets
Until
IQ
I
Ken
have
says,
one, then I don't think they should have one.
okay. Fitnets IQ says we're just coasting as of now. Well, it's gonna
I'll be
bust
sleeping
soon.
on the street soon too if we keep this up.
Okay.
60 years old. Nobody's knocking down my door.
Lane 2, that's BS. Sorry, what exactly do you mean? I'm gonna ask here. I know homeless, sorry, they get robbed in the homeless shelters. Well,
that happens in LA too. I mean, that happens all the time. I know a lot of why do you think we have Skid Row? It's not just mental illness, but a lot of people, and especially women and women with children, they do not want to go into these shelters because it's more dangerous for them.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of families lined up along Forest Lawn where the cemetery is, where I thought they were filming a movie, but excuse me, they aren't. They're in like these caravans, and many of those caravans have been catching on fire.
Yes.
So, and they're burning to death. And they're not drug addicts, they're families or living on the tents by the side of the freeway.
Let me get in here. Lane 2 says, right, Laura. And Big Maniac says, enjoy the wine. And Lane 2 goes, the immigrants are living in schools now. They are going to work here. So you know what?
I said.
Okay, let's stop the immigrant because that's far away from our original topic. I think that maybe one of the ladies can come up with a question for our Discord group. About immigration.
We'll leave that one to Jill.
Yes. No, don't say anything now, Jill. We're gonna discuss.
Okay,
but I want you to.
But it needs to stop.
Okay, but what we can do, and what's even nice, is we can put in the Discord group, and it doesn't have your name. Doesn't have anything I put on Discord group in regards to topics for discussion, like a group discussion, has no name tagged on it. So I will not post whoever brought the question or multiple choice question to the Discord group. So Jill, come to me and talk to me about certain things. All right.
Okay, sure.
All right.
Let's just say one more thing before we move on. Let's get back to the original topic. Let's face it. The ridiculousness going on in Washington, D.C. is at the expense of every American, every single one of us. I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. The shenanigans going on up in Washington, D.C. are affecting all of us while they're sitting up there eating high on the hog. Now, Schumer said he was talking to McConnell. Here's my question. How the hell are you talking to McConnell when McConnell can't even talk for himself? This man needs to go. This man needs to go. Not just McConnell, but Feinstein as well. You're too old and you and it's not actually age, because I do know a lot of spry 100-year-olds. Don't get me wrong, but if you're not in your right mind and in the right health, you are not serving our country. So therefore, every last one of them,
they're just sucking up food and heat,
and they got to go. They have to go because you're not serving us.
They're a burden. I mean, even like if you watch Game of Thrones, even like how much more can you drag around a dead ball of weight? You can't.
You can't.
And if they had any dignity or nobility or any honor in themselves, they would leave and quit. You know, that was my problem with RBG or RGB. She decided to stay the whole time. I mean, it was wonderful. And it was, if we took that one side of it, but the reality is, girl, you are messing us up here and you're not looking at the big picture. Go enjoy your grandkids. Go, spend that quality time that they don't care. It's a certain type of animal that takes these jobs. And they're not always heartfelt compassion. I heard Nancy Pelosi is about to run again. Girl.
Okay, let's stop. Let's stop. Okay, so lane 2 goes right, Laura. Lane 2 goes OMG. So lane 2, if this is the first time you've been here, this is what it's all about. All right.
Lane, this is not like my regular show.
Yes. So wow, she goes, and also Oh, no, no, I'm not going to put that comment up on the screen. Jill can see the comment.
I
I'm not
see.
going
Put
to.
the wine down.
That's all right. Well, you
I'm
know
even
what?
worse without the wine. Trust me.
Yeah.
I've lived in New York. I actually still have family members who live in New York. I know New York very well. I was out there many nights giving blankets and coats to people who were freezing and homeless for many, many years. I lived in New York since the 80s. Let's not get it twisted. But my friends are not being served who are having problems. My friends who created New York, who created the scene, who created all of it, are not being served.
Okay.
So we're not going to
let's
do that.
go. No problem. Lane 2 says, thank you to myself and Laura. And we have a lady, Katrina Ray Porter. Hello, everyone.
Hey, Katrina.
And Lane 2 goes, I've got my own problems. See you soon. No problem. That's all right. All right, let's move forward.
Sorry, Lala. I know she was your friend.
Oh no, we all have our own opinions. Now, all of my friends know. And let me say this before we move on, because I have made it very clear on my pages. They know where I stand on my pages. My pages,
Right.
if you don't like something, you're more than welcome to scroll on. You
These
don't
people
have to
trashed
stick
those
around.
hotels in New York. That wasn't a lie. That
Okay,
wasn't a lie.
let's continue on.
Awful.
Judge overseeing case to remove 45 from ballot agrees to order banning threats and intimidation.
They see right through him, and he's getting the that he's dished out. And I'm happy to see it, and I'm here for it. I am tired of all the ass kissing for him. He should not even be where he is right now today. We should have taken him down a long time ago. But no, he is still out here acting stupid, acting like he is the king of America and giving threats like he has any kind of power whatsoever, when really all of his people are nothing but a cult. You lost. It's a cult. Get help. I don't care if it's a Trump anonymous. Get help, because this man is sick. And had he done anybody on our side, you let Obama even say one thing. For God's sake, the man wore a tan suit and you were ready to string him up.
I know.
No.
I mean,
He's
it's
getting
very
what he
akin to
deserves.
Heaven's Gate. If the Heaven's Gate guy was in charge of things, would we allow our whole nation to, squander itself and sink into like this bile? This is really bad. There's not much more you can say any at all about this.
Yeah. No, I mean,
She's absolutely
he's
right.
getting
There's
what he
nothing.
has. Now you watch.
So
The next thing he's going to do, we know his pattern. We know Trump's pattern. Now, all of a sudden, this judge is going to be this old corrupt judge. He just doesn't. You kick him out. That's the whole thing. If you don't agree with him, that's his pattern.
I know. And it's like, what is it? The 14th Amendment? What is the bill that the people who created this lawsuit, it's happening in Colorado or basically they want him gone, and they are Republicans. This is the crazy thing. These are Republicans who are fighting for their party. And I have to say, I do respect that. It's important. I mean, otherwise, there was a time when the Whig Party was a big deal, and it's no more. And the Republicans, I fear, are going to be the same, but this time more of a watching them burn and get spit out. It's only a matter of time. But to see these people going and utilizing the law the way it should be, Trump should not even be allowed to run. It's really very, very simple. There are things that he's done to violate the law. And if any of us had done it before, the only reason they're keeping that idiot George Santos around is because they're trying to validate and kind of hold court that, but this is a normal situation. Now we have this stupid Menendez who got $400,000 in New Jersey, being a spy, basically. Another senator. I mean, it's like, can we just wash the bloody stains out of our government? It's awful. On both sides. It's not just one or the other, because even the Democrats that remain silent, you need to start looking at them closer and be like, what are you hiding? Because they're all doing it. They're not good people. It's really hard. It's like women who go around and say, I can't find a good man these days. We can't find a good politician because there aren't any.
why do I feel there'll be a poll topic about politicians coming from one of you two also? So
But that is such a like
But
they're
I
just
think that we
gross.
can
They're
say,
disgusting. We've got to stop take the shine off of them and show that underneath the polish, it's just some old cheap like nothing piece of material.
but I
Not
think
even
one thing that
bronze.
we are very fair about, we don't always just bash GOP. Right now, they're the ones who's just being. I mean, we are calling out our own party as well, which is just as important.
Exactly.
And the problem is people want you to be on one side or the other. There is no one side or the other.
No.
It's either right or wrong. And if you're wrong, I'm calling you out. I don't care if you're
Yeah.
blue, yellow, purple, or
It's
green.
true. People forgotten what right and wrong is because it's like, what level are you holding yourself? What standard do you hold yourself to? And it's clear that Americans don't hold a very high standard for themselves to achieve, with their word means nothing. There's no standards. And these are our young people watch this. This is why our country will go down in flames, because people don't have any standard that they hold anything to. Truth doesn't mean anything. Honesty, none
Family
of it.
values,
It's
Miss
really bad
Boebert,
because
bobblehead.
it's like then you have the left that wants to go crazy because that's too much religious. Like, no, just being an honorable person. We should not ever accept liars ever and just be like, yo, dude, be straight. Like, somebody just please say to Donald Trump, okay, man, sit down. It's like we can't have these conversations. But what we've done is we've lowered the bar for each other and how
Yeah.
we even do business, how we interact with each other. And it's really awful. It will we'll never survive.
all right.
We are not the same Americans that actually came here, to be honest.
No.
So
We're not.
Katrina Reporter goes, bunch of bullies and sickos. She also says politicians are only out for themselves and those who got them into office. That's true
Clearly.
these days.
It's so
Absolutely.
sad.
Absolutely.
And what do we do about it, Katrina? I mean, what can we do at this point? I've started to just turn off the channel and I've become my grandmother, because it's like every older generation becomes tired of them. They were your once so hopeful. And then here you are, 60, and they're stealing your Social Security.
They're talking
number,
about the
stressing you
same
out,
shit.
hoping that you die before you can collect your Social Security. I mean, all of it. It's like we live in a country that has made money off of pimping its citizens, and it doesn't give a shit about us. America doesn't care about us. It never has. So I don't care anymore either. I'm going to care about the people that I love, and I'm going to treat them like queens and kings. But this country I haven't seen anything to turn my around. And as I get older and older, why am I even fighting for it?
Okay, we're gonna go to our next conversation.
Fighting for a
Piece.
that doesn't love me.
All right, so let's go to our next conversation. We got no. Katrina says, "Yeah, I ask myself that all the time."
It's true.
So let's go on to our next
Unrequited love. That's America.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Vivek, and I hope I get the last name, Ramaswamy, who's running for the Republican presidential candidacy, wanting to get rid of birthright citizenship. Jill, you know the most on this one, so I'm going to let you lead.
Well, first of all, Mr. Ramaswamy, as I call him, he's a very misguided person.
Yes, he is.
And he speaks with forked tongue. And, you have to remember, probably if we went to meet his family, they're Hindus, he would probably say, we're Brahmin, but we're Brahmin, we're Brahmin, we're Brahmin. If you say you're Brahmin, it's like the top class of being Indian, right? In India, and everybody else is like, right? They all, no offense to anybody, I'm just exaggerating it a little just to show that, Ramaswamy, why he has the audacity to feel that he wants to fight birthright citizenship in his run for the presidency. And all he's doing is appealing to white supremacists who will use him like, okay, whatever. But if somebody else better comes along, look, I grew up in Ohio too. Somehow his family landed in Cincinnati. When I was growing up as a small child, there was a huge contingency of Indians who came in the 70s. I remember going down and visiting my cousin, and she lived in an area where it was full of, like, I could smell the curry and all this beautiful food. And I remember we wanted to have bindies, and so we melted them on. This is terrible. It's not very PC, but we were like 8 years old. We melted crayons on a light bulb, and then we put this on like the red here, because which bindies mean that you're married and different things in the religion. But anyway, so he must have come in with that influx somewhere, maybe even a little later, but he wasn't like of the doctorate set. There were a lot of medical people who were students that they came to Cincinnati, and a lot of them were doctors. And his father never became a citizen, and his mother was the one who did the citizenship papers. And so essentially, Ramaswamy, who is like going after people who have babies, and we're going to deport them all. He was an anchor baby, essentially.
Yes, he was.
He was trying to say that her paperwork was in, and they were here legally trying to do whatever. But in the meantime, they were getting down to the get down, and like, let's have a baby really fast so we can at least solidify our claim here.
He refuses to admit that. He throws it back on people. He refuses to admit anything at all. I mean, this is the same guy that went at it with, remember, Don Lemon? And then Don Lemon was let go?
He set him up, yeah. And they fired him because he wanted to tell Don Lemon about slavery in America.
Which he knows
his parents like rabbits to get an anchor baby, and kept delaying paperwork after paperwork and filling out whatever. We know the deal. But he's a very dangerous person, because people who will perpetuate lies like that are nasty. And they're deceitful, and they won't be good for the country. These are people who can't stand on their own legs or stand on who they are. And I know Cincinnati because I grew up not far. I grew up there.
Yeah.
He's not
That's
the
in that
Cincinnati
tri-state area.
He's not what Cincinnati is. Okay. It's got a Germantown. It's like people who love, like, their, righteous.
Culture.
Yeah. Right. But then there he is pandering. And I don't care what kind of a businessman he is. Can we stop having businessmen and having like people who give up about how to run a country and to put it together? Like, at least, like, these are no Roosevelts. These are not people who even give people the consideration. They are pandering with lies, and it's really disgusting. Because the reality is, he needs to be asked to reveal his parents' immigration paperwork.
Yes,
that's what we need to see. Just like Melania Trump needed to. We need to see, what was your step? And why does your father not want to be a citizen? Well, obviously his dad has something over in India, because he doesn't want to claim worldwide income on it. He doesn't want to pay taxes on it.
And the thing is, I think it's tied to real estate.
Of course, he doesn't want to pay taxes on it. If you're an American citizen, or even if you have all these things, he has his little green card. But what's he reporting? Because when you make money outside of America, even if it comes from a residual, and you are an American, you pay. You even file taxes in both places.
Yeah, but I think it even goes deeper than that with the real estate. If you are becoming an American citizen, or any kind of dual citizenship, you are no longer allowed. Now, I have to triple check this, but this was my first initial findings, is you are not allowed to own any land in India. They don't want anyone outside of living in a different country to own that property.
And the odds are it's in a corporation name. All of
there you go.
So there is
I have to do my research on that, but that was my initial findings.
And there's a reason why he is not filed. So the girl who did the interview with him, Dana, she's a great reporter. She's the reporters, the young girls that I love that are coming along. Amazing. I love these girls. Caitlin got on my nerves, y'all, a few stories back, but
they're standing up to people. They're not letting people run over them.
I agree. They are keeping receipts, unlike the days of yore when, everybody had a press agent who came in and said, now you have to ask them this question, but you can't ask Mr. Trump this, and you can't. Those days are gone. And I want to see more of it. I know Ari Melber has laid some people out on his show. It's important that we have journalists who do that.
Yes, it is.
And then they almost bully people into coming on their shows, because I want to see a knockdown, drag out. I want to see a journalist who actually did their homework.
So Katrina Ray Porter says that may be true, Laura, what you were saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So true. So this is the thing. Vivek Swampy is a hypocrite. And
Yes,
he doesn't deserve to be our president or vice president. He's a
But
little.
see, the thing is, the Republicans will embrace him. The MAGA Republicans will embrace him because they love to have a color of rainbow puppets so that it make it seem like that they support every American, whoever you are. As long as you talk for us, we'll let you run and we'll give you something important to do. So you watch, even when he drops out, because he ain't even gonna get a chance, y'all. He's not gonna get a chance. They're gonna give him something to do.
And he wants something from this too. There's a financial gain either way. This is a person who rationalizes things like, well, if I do this and I look like I'm still going to get this and blah, 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 blah. This is how people think running in these
But that's
games.
been the history. That's been the history of the rewardism.
Yeah. Everybody is like, well, you know, there'll be some people who really like me. So like Bobo the clown, like, oh, there's some people who like me. And, you know, my tatas were out and whatever. And I'm going to get, you know, maybe I'll get a Maxine cover or I'll be, you know, doing that because they have such low level thoughts. This is somebody's, there is a child out there. That's their grandmother. That's their grandmother. Her son had a child. That is their nasty grandma.
You know it's bad if the show is asking you to leave. Yeah, that's just pretty gross.
All right.
No words.
We will get to our next conversation topic. Just get me, I know, gotta find this here. All right, but we're gonna take a 30-second break because I think both of these ladies need one.
I need to stage my space, guys.
Okay, so we're going to take a 30-second break, and we will be right back. And on the other side, the president of Poland was in the United States and Canada this week. So we've got to talk about it.
You guys got a lot going on in Canada that you have not been talking about.
Yes.
Your guy. You need to update us.
Yes. Well, that's another story, too, that we didn't put in our roll call, but I think we can continue our next conversation.
Yeah, you need to because I'm very curious.
All right. So we'll be back in 30 seconds, right quick.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? My name's David Archer, anti-racist psychotherapist from Montreal, Canada. And I wanted to take a moment to give a special shout out to Dr. Vibe and the Dr. Vibe Show. If you're looking for the best conversations, even if you're looking for someone who could help to support you and help you to improve your outlook, the way how you're thinking about things, and cares about the culture, look no further. Go and Google Dr. Vibe, the Dr. Vibe Show, and you're going to find the man of the hour. All right? So, yo, many blessings. Take care. Peace.
You know, I do like a Havarti.
Is David Archer, anti-racist psychotherapist out of Montreal. And did you like his voice?
I do. I love it. I love it. James Earl Jones level. James Earl Jones, everybody.
We're giving to regard him as the James Earl Jones of Black Canada. Jill is back. Yes, Jill Jones is back in the house. And we're going to do the part 2 of our epic conversation. I thought give Jill and LaLa because they hadn't been back for a bit and they're giving fire. And Fitness IQ goes, yes, Canada and India are beefing apparently. Yes, they are, but we're going to save that till next week because there were so many conversation pieces, but we will definitely be bringing that to the next.
You need to break it down because it's intense.
Yes, it's a very interesting situation. And basically, right now, Canada's on an island by themselves, basically, on this one. Not many countries, even the U.S., are just sort of staying to the side of the road, so to speak, and hoping.
You know who the U.S. is starting to look like in this situation, just quickly? Have you guys seen that thyroid eye disease commercial where the girl is like, I used to take pictures with my friends, but now I don't because I have the thyroid. And she goes and stands in the back like that, and you can see her in the frame. And America is in the background trying to act like they're not there, but they're there. But, you know, it's so weird. It's really strange.
All right. So let's get our next conversation piece. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and his last name, Two Wise. Yes, Two Wise. But just this past week visited the U.S. and Canada, and especially in the U.S. Again, the Republican Party. There's some factions that don't want to give them any more money.
I think it
Well,
changes his vibration with the two Y's.
exactly.
What
Numerology.
what do both you ladies think about the war? Should America still be giving money towards the war, etc.? In Canada, Prime Minister Trudeau gave another $400 to $600 million, like no problem, because obviously, and their party has a minority, but they're a ruling party, and they just no problem gave it. What do you think about America's position when it comes to Poland as we speak? I guess is it 19 months into that war now?
I don't
It
think
is
people
19
understand foreign policy to the point where, it's kind of like people who come to California and they're not used to how much we have to pay for things here. So you go to dinner and they're like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. And so with Zelensky, I mean, and what's happening in Ukraine, it's only 3% of our military budget. And that should make you sit back down and go, what? Like, what? No, really, like that is the bigger takeaway, because the reality is nobody wants some homespun, everybody acting like they're balancing their regular checkbook. This is a freaking war, and these are arms that are sold, and all countries make money off of it. This is the way the world works. So to put it in this mom and pop placement for me doesn't fly. It's stupid. It's a big business. General Flynn wouldn't be the crook that he was if he wasn't like stirring up and selling all arms and stuff and have the power that he did have. Because of this, yes, Zelensky, give him the money. It's 3% of our defense budget. And they're trying to act like we're all trying to figure out how to send everybody to McDonald's for a drive-through, like a party. It's crazy. It's not for me, in my opinion.
Lala, any thoughts?
From the very beginning, I said we should have been helping Ukraine. Y'all know I've always said that. And at the time when I first came out and I was standing firm about that, people were laughing at me and saying, no, they're not a part of the UN. And this is none of our business. But yes, it is. When one is in need, the world needs to step up. And I think that we need to continue to step up. We know what type of person Putin is. You can't wait. He can't wait to set off a nuke. I mean, he's just itching to do it. Whatever's holding him back, I hope continues to hold him back, because I think that he's been held back from that. But I think the world needs to be paying attention and to help Ukraine. Ukraine has been fighting tooth and nail. You want to talk about somebody who loves their country and want to protect their country, innocent people. And just let's not forget, if Putin wins this war, which I don't see happening, thank God, I'm just praying over that. Who is next? Because if you think he's just stopping there, honey, his eyes is on the prize. He's trying to do some historic stuff where he takes back many, many lands. It's not just Ukraine. Now, I think that Ukraine surprised the hell out of them when they fought back so hard. But this is not his last hurrah. This is not his, what do you call it, when everybody gets on that magical bull at the hour before they go home. This is not his last thing. He's riding forward and plans on doing much more damage. We need to step up as a world citizen and care about our brothers and sisters in the Ukraine. Simple. Okay.
May the sexiest man win. I think Zelensky's looks a lot better than I like those fatigues. No, in all seriousness, I think that I'm ready for the old school to go away. I'm sick of the silent generation. I want them all to kind of retire. I can't say that the boomers are that much more inviting, but I think that if you give him this, if you let him take Ukraine, he will take everything else and he'll go for other countries. This is a person who's just abusive and aggressive
Yeah.
and not cool. He's not, he's very 19th century. I think we should focus on 21st century heroes and
Agree.
giants, not the
Agree.
19th century ones. And I'm older, you know. I'm just like looking forward to it. I'm like, yo, you need somebody with a little swag, and not even just that. The fact that Zelensky could motivate so many people and so many people had the love of their country was very different than what you see going on in Russia. There's a different kind of entitlement too.
Yeah.
You don't want to fight. It's really sad. They don't want to fight, and he's just slaughtering them. And it's not cool. They don't want to do it. And God only knows how he's really getting them to do it. There was a
Right.
girl interviewed on the street. I hope they protected her and gave her a plane ticket and got her out of there. But the reality is, yeah, that's when you get a gem like that where somebody really says it, yeah, it's not. And don't forget, he's been abducting our citizens for a while. They've all been doing it, you know, to make us have to play nice on the playground with them. No.
Yeah, well, we talked about months ago how they even doing it in on our own land. So let's not forget about that.
Okay. All right, let's move on to our next conversation piece. The United Auto Workers in America expanded its strike against major automakers Friday. So if you're watching this would have been on September 22nd, 2023, walking out of 38 General Motors and Stellantis parts distribution centers in 20 states in America. For people who don't know what Stellantis is, they own Chrysler.
People are tired. People are very, very tired. You work your off. You no longer get some nice retirement and a golden watch. People are exhausted. Now, I have many family members that work in these factories that have major health issues. Okay, let's not forget that these people who are putting these cars together are walking on concrete all day long. So many of my family members have had back issues because of that, or, you know, they also have the knee replacements that have to be done. You know, it may be good work. People say that's a good, solid job if you do it, but the rewards are few in the end. I stand with them because I truly feel like, you know, there is a massive divide between the have and the have-nots. And we are seeing more and more and more of that. Like these CEOs that get something done and they get billions of dollars when it comes to their, you know, you get you get a bonus, where the hard grunt workers and the people who are allowing that to happen get absolutely nothing. It's the same with the other strikes that are going on. And I feel that we have come to such a discord on this that I don't know if this is ever going to be able to heal itself. They may come to some certain agreement, but then once again, the divide will come again. And once again, the have and the have-nots, we're just going to appease right here until you happy, yay! And then we're right back to where we were. So I stand with the auto workers. I really do.
I heard that Ford is the only one that's actually really working with them.
Yes.
And Sean Fain, who is the union representative, spoke about it and made sure to single them out, that they were actually coming to the table to negotiate. And, you know, American people, this generation, last month, they have no idea about unions. I mean, after Ralph Nader has basically, we don't have any people like that anymore. Everybody's willing to sell themselves out in such a second because people don't, you know, it's capitalism. It's like, oh, let's get ours. You know, we have to get ours. And this is a class system. Sean Fain, who represents a union, and it's so funny because, you know, when they kept saying Sean Fain, I was like, Sinn Fein? Like, you know, I was thinking of like in Ireland. I was like, Sinn Fein is negotiating with the union. So I was like, whoa, this could get dicey, guys. But I stand with them 100%. They want a 40% increase in their wages, which they haven't had in ages. And, you know, it's really true. It's like they should have that. I mean, we really have lost the plot when we don't want to see our own people benefit. Like, I want you to win. When everybody wins, it's kind of nice to come home to your idyllic community every weekend when people are winning. We haven't had that in America in ages. And they only allowed it for a split second during the 50s with white people. And that was just a select few, but they don't let people win here.
No.
They do better with discord, and that's because of the politics. But people need to help each other stand up. The politicians are not on our sides. This is a class system. This is a class war. That's what these pickets and these strikes are about. There is a class war going on.
Yes, it is.
You don't figure it out. You're in the wrong. You're just all over. You're an emotional idiot. Okay, be very pragmatic and look at this. It's a class war, and it's happening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Plain and simple.
Hey, Evita Peron was what she was because she knew how to make people understand. I don't know,
Okay.
I'm not going to get on. Yeah,
With Maniac says solidarity.
absolutely.
It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with this strike, though, because
I mean, we had the writers' union where the people were deciding to take their crews back. And I thought, okay, well, I get it. I understand. But then it's true. It's like, you got it. I mean, Drew Barrymore, it's kind of like you came from a wealthy family. Jimmy Fallon, as soon as Jimmy Fallon decided, or Bill Maher, all of them, stop it. It's too much. It's like, you're not doing anything good for us by breaking and being a scab. A scab used to be an awful thing. See, this is the thing. We've gotten into this thing. You can't shame people anymore. You can't do that. That's why calling somebody a scab doesn't work anymore, because it used to hold weight. It used to be like, you cross the picket line. Now that we're all up and running again, I will never hire you again.
That's right.
That's what the consequences were. But this whole, you're body shaming or you're scab shaming, it's like, no, there is something called human nature. And there are times that you have to oust people from your fold. Even churches do it. They throw out people in a church. So there was a reason for that. Bill Maher, his old silly.
Okay, so getting back, so are both you with the workers on this strike?
Yes,
absolutely. I wish there were more unions.
Okay,
I mean, we see Starbucks crushing the unions every single chance.
Every single day.
And is that right? I think it's wrong.
And now they're talking about that with Tesla and Dumbutt, who I ain't been on the Twitter lit in a long, long day.
No.
And I
won't even ride a Tesla if it comes to me in a Lyft or an Uber. I will cancel the ride. I'll gladly pay $5 to not be in that car. It's time to put yourself to the test. It's that time. What time is it? As the time used to say, it's time.
It's time.
Okay. Okay. So but you hear a lot of people say if they get their demands, it's going to increase inflation, which I say,
no, please, whatever.
Let
people
the
get
chips
more
fall.
money, they spend more money. What the?
We've had this artificial reality for a while. And remember, look, capitalism is about, if you can hang, you hang. If you can't make it, you can't make it. Why are we holding that philosophy up where people are like on the streets living? And yet when the rich get, I'm losing money, I think I'm going to jump off my building. We don't want another depression. I don't care. Either you can hang or you can't, right? Is that what we stand for? But we're just protecting billionaires when they do this.
And they're loving it.
We'll see who makes it through, right? May the best man win.
Okay, so got some more comments here. I'm just catching up on them right here. All right, we're here. So let's Wigmaniac goes, and Bill Maher, who's jumped in, Dr. Tachi, host of Mediascope, the livest online show about media, tech, and pop culture on 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesdays on Instagram Live, and then 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesdays, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitch and other platforms. And Katrina Ray Porter says, so does Amazon. So, and I think, it's a fact, people don't maybe know this fact, but Amazon is on an aggressive buying spree of robots. So you're going to see.
We broke up AT&T. Like, what kind of do we look like when they had that merger? Oh my God, it's too much. It's a monopoly. But Amazon can own everything, even like they own everything. They're going to own our
now
children.
they're getting into the prescription drugs.
They are. So is Mark Cuban. The reality is, why are we looking around and going, who are my grandchildren going to belong to? What billionaire ecosystem is your family going to belong to?
Yeah, you're going to get a tattoo on your ass on who owns you.
Absolutely. Because that's what they're doing. They're actually still playing ball with Saudi Arabia.
Yes,
why?
they are.
Yes, Saudi Arabia to have any business. They Citibank, they Twitter. Why are they here? Why are we doing this?
But that's their agenda. But see, they're here to do just that, because the more power they get, the bigger they are. So I can't really say that the bigger they are, the harder they fall, because I don't really see that happening. It used to be true, but I don't see it happening
gross.
at
Like
all.
I said, they pimped us all out. They own our kids. They own our grandkids. It's already done. That's the part of the stages. You see, stage 4, they own us already. And there's no way that any of our kids are going to dig themselves out of it. Hopefully you have a pretty little girl. Maybe she'll get to marry up, or a handsome son.
That's right. We're going back to that. Mm-hmm.
But we really are going back to that.
So Katrina Ray,
too, Laura, I see it very clearly. That's where we're going.
So Katrina Ray says, I would never be a scab. And she also says Amazon is in telemedicine.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you
go.
Katrina
wouldn't even be able to say the word scab. She's a sweetheart.
I don't know why people feel it is the reason, one of the reasons why when we watch that Dwayne Johnson and Oprah Winfrey pitch of like, give us money for Lahaina and stuff. And I got to be honest with you, I'm over the billionaire culture. I don't care about them. And don't even really, it's bad. It's like a feudal system that we're in.
Okay, let's move on. Yes, and Katrina Ray says, I grew up in a union family.
Me too.
Yeah.
There you go.
Me too.
All right. So last conversation tonight. P. Diddy has given bad boy artists their publishing back. Jill, what your thoughts?
We have a problem in our Black community. And for those who don't know me, I am Black. We have this idolatry of certain people who do good, who sell and make money and have nice bank accounts. But we really have a problem with the quality of what they're doing and what they're bringing to the environment of what our culture is. We are an extremely consumer-driven culture. We consume even when there's nothing left to consume. We are the least involved in climate change, charities, things like that. We are the least involved in donations for animal charities. And I can tell you because I work on them. There are studies. We're not interested, but we're interested in some shoes and sneakers. So, and we're interested in songs about killing and guns, but then we're upset when police pull us over and, they have a really bad image, that image that was helped and embedded by these idols in our community of why we're so tough. People forget when Puffy started out, he was like he'd had shows and stuff. And do they forget that the doors were locked and how many people died in the fire at one of his concerts?
Speak on it, Jill. You better speak on it.
So here we are today. Puffy has decided that he's going to give back his artists money, publishing. It's so, if it wasn't so ridiculous, I don't even know what to say. First of all, everybody knows streaming money. It's bullshit. Even Aubrey O'Day, who was in one of his bands, Danity Kane, These are men who have exploited women. They've
Yep.
exploited men. They exploit the music industry. They exploited other songwriters. They've exploited, and they did a lot of damage to the industry, but they made money. They still make money, you know. So here we are, and you're going to give back something that's now actually worthless. It's like an old rag. It's like you wiped your ass with something for about 30 years, and now you've given the rag back to the artist. Well, and what made me sick about this was that it was on the Today Show. And these idiot announcers, you know, they sit up here like, oh, Matt Lauer, we'll get rid of him. We're doing our good deed. How about you guys get some real journalists who know how to push back or do some work in the morning rather than having this Gumby sitting up there talking about how he's giving back his publishing, and Hoda and her dumb going, oh, you're so great for giving your oh my God. An idiot could look it up and go, well, you know, aren't artists only making like half a penny on a stream? It means nothing. You've said
half a penny. That's generous. That's generous, baby.
Yeah, they've split a penny like 60 times, and you've sent your kids to college. You've had kids that
and still having babies.
Still having babies, and now you're done with it. Because why? Oh, you got into the new grift. Music isn't your thing anymore. Oh, your new thing is a charter school for Black kids. Oh, so not only that, they have a bunch of little Black kids in the back with their little uniforms on, and they're from Connecticut, and Puffy started a charter school. Everybody with any knowledge knows the grift of a charter school and the tax money that comes from the money that's coming from us, from my taxes, from my streaming. Streaming that means nothing, but I do have to pay on it. So these can sit up there and get their waxed on TV by Hoda and Al and everybody else who's just holding space of some 19th century that needs to go away. He's not doing us favors. He's not doing the community favors. Do yourself a favor and understand what happens with charter schools and why the rich people in this country are destroying our national education, public education, because they make 7 times sometimes.
Yes, they do. So you need to look at the roots.
And they're making money on it from our federal dollars. So am I the only sitting up here who's upset about this? And he gets to go, well, I bought my, you know, with this really weird Botox that he has. It's like, brother, please, that Botox got your eye looking over here and the fold in your face going one other way. It's so like the vanity and the dirt and it makes me sick to my stomach. Giving back their publishing, it means nothing. You've done nothing. Your artists are still broke. They will be broke. There's nothing there for them. And if they had the money to go back and audit and really look at what you took from them, and that goes for all of those in the 80s, none of them, not one, was clean. So in our community, we have had so many Black men held up high, like, oh my God, he was so great. Let me tell you something. I've never met one who was. In the 80s of that came through in the 90s, they're not. And there's a whole generation of people who are not getting their due, their money, their nothing. Why don't you go and try to make sure, Puffy, that people get a proper amount of money on the stream? Why do you do that? Why don't you try to make waves to make sure people get an actual percentage? There's no union. They made sure they got rid of music unions. You know why? Because this is what happens when you don't have a union. There's nobody. The music union in America, they should all just pack up, leave, and stop getting paid. They do absolutely nothing for artists. Nothing.
And that's another thing. You don't see them jumping in on this strike when they should be. The artists should be screaming and jumping in on this.
Because they will sell each other out like crabs in a barrel, and that has not changed in our community. We are still these like crabs in a barrel, and it makes me sad. So then you want to go and see people talking about Black Lives Matter and blah, 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 blah. Do they? because that's the catch line that they're trying to perpetuate here. But I don't see it happening there. Beyonce, what'd she do? She kept the subways open for $300,000 on her concert. Taylor Swift gave her whole crew $100,000 each.
She sure
Everybody
did.
got paid. I'm
She sure
sorry.
did.
That's the queen, in my opinion. That's somebody who understands what people need, not to be riding on the subway to see your in the middle of the night going back to wherever. Has she ever walked through Crown Heights in the middle of the night?
Not only that, she's fighting her tax bill. So you
Right.
do know that she's fighting her tax bill on top
No,
of that.
I didn't know that still was going on. We have to feel so bad. I have a tax bill. We all have tax bills from being in the music industry. And she's going to whinge about that. Pay my bill. You know, this is absolutely ridiculous. I've stood on the shoulders of everybody. You stood on the shoulders to the point where you pushed the rest of us down in the mud face down.
Yeah.
And now you want to and moan. Sorry. It's just disgusting to me.
So Wig Maniac says, haha, Jill calling out Diddy's Botox.
I'm calling out more than his Botox because this is wrong. And there are people, because I know as you get older, I'm not, look, I don't expect any of them. There are actually what's happening in the music industry right now. There's some executives that are getting slashed as far as like their salaries are being cut exactly in half, and they're laying off their whole teams. You know why? Because there's this new kind of entity that's come out that is creative groups of people using focus groups to determine what a music song and a hit is. It's what they started to do in the modeling industry, and they did it a few years ago. People were like coming up to, and everything is generated by what you're selling online. Record labels are upset with my daughter because she didn't want to pimp herself online like a prostitute who needs to do it. But this is what it still comes back to for women. We are still having to sell ourselves like, like we're in a Dickens novel with our out. And then all of this, I did that. I walked around in a panties and a bra. For what? For what? They're still doing the same.
Yeah, and even worse now.
Can you imagine? And talk about feeling exploited, because that's what it is. Women are meat. And we all keep eating it. And it's disgusting. And we need to stop praising these men for it. And the women who keep perpetuating and protecting the patriarchy. But they're okay because they're crabs in a barrel.
But
and
and then the minute that someone actually stands up to them, like I know this is getting off a little bit, but it's still in the music realm here. You get India Ari, who comes out and speaks the truth, and then everybody's slamming her when she's telling the truth.
Let me tell you something. About 100 years before India Ari, they would have been saying India Ari was too dark to be in a band or be on the cover of an album cover. Everybody here is so full of it's not even funny. It's not even about the music. To be honest with you, I don't really know any of Beyonce's songs since Halo because they don't sound like they have any hooks or any melody. They are gimmicky and they are trendy. And they are just to be like, not even trendy. I was in a like falafel place the other day and it was blaring so much in this like fake Equus looking album cover that looked like Prince's second album cover.
Yes, it is.
It is Prince's album cover. It is.
Okay, I'm not crazy.
And it also, I saw the play Equus, and Prince got that from Equus as well. So if we look at here, okay. So I'm sorry, I'm just over it. So when we hold up people in our community, I'm very careful now because I don't see our community getting any better. And to have a charter school that I know is going to exploit these kids, and who knows if it's even going to be accredited to even be something where they can go elsewhere or to afford being able to go to college. It's one thing to get a scholarship. It's another thing to be able to have money to live on campus, because that's the other thing you've got to deal with. We had kids in one school that parents came together and supported paying for them to go to to be able to live. They had their scholarship, but they didn't even have money for food, and you
Or
want them to
books.
study and
Sometimes the
books.
books, the scholarships don't necessarily cover the books either.
So
Honey, that's
sorry.
another
That's how I
mortgage.
feel about giving back the publishing. We need new journalists on TV and on our media now who actually push back and do some homework, not Hoda, who's like, going, I love that song and I played it for my kids and I love country music. It's like, aren't you Egyptian? Okay, I get it. But it's just that era has got to go because it makes no sense. It's not an engaging conversation. It's just a promo pitch, like how great Diddy is. He's giving back publishing. Really, if you really look at the checks that these people are going to get, what are they going to do with $800? They're going to pay 30% tax on it. Yeah.
If they get that. And
If they
another
get
thing,
that.
a small little factor, what a lot of people do not know is, remember the Missing You song where he just took all of Sting's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Sting took him to court. Y'all, Diddy don't get squat daddly on that because Sting gets all that money.
Exactly.
Diddy doesn't get that.
Thank God. But the problem is that he misused everybody else's music and sample in it.
He did.
And it's absolutely insane. And it's pathetic. But he gets all this accolade. Let's start calling people out for that they do.
Yeah.
It's not cool with me.
All right. We are done. Another quiet conversation from State of Things. Another quiet one. So we are good here. As always, we want to say thank you for the ladies for taking their time because they got a lot going on in their lives. Like we're only discussing like a thumbnail of all the things that are going on in their world. So I appreciate it. And we hope you appreciate them taking time from their positive, productive schedule to share with us. Who's saying something here? Jen Myers. Hold on a second.
Quiet.
So that's Fitness IQ Cam. Maybe one day we'll have to get her to come on. The door is open, family. If you want to come on.
It's true. I have to say, I really love the women and the people that tune in, and particularly because I know that, I don't feel so alone in what's going on. And I also know that there's warriors out there through the week. Yeah. And every little tone, every look, everything, without you on the planet, observing, throwing a glance, saying whatever you're saying, this would all be different. It's important that, we are the gatekeepers, and it's time to start really looking at everything, not by race and this dedicate and whatever, and getting caught up in these things. It's something about like, hey, y'all, we need to fix this. And can you sit your ass down over there who's like eating too much sugar, and then not have, what I mean? It's like, if you get your family together, everybody's together and nobody's taking like, oh my God, that's not PC. It's like, no, y'all, for real, sit down. We got to fix it. And we all need to come together.
So Fitness IQ says, I'm waiting for the behind the scenes one to come on. Will you join us on screen on the behind the scenes one? We'd like that. She also says, I appreciate you, Jill and LaLa.
We appreciate you too.
And says, and you too, Dr. Vibe. Well, I'm last and probably least. Look who comes in right at the tail end.
I know. Always at the end of the party.
Cinema Canella. She goes, love the background. Thank you. I asked Jill and LaLa if they liked it. So we're going to start rolling with that background for the next little while. Cinema Canella, there's something called replay. So that's what you got to do. Or as Dan Hartman would say, instant replay. Great song. Great song by Dan Hartman. Well, as always, we want to say thank you to Jill and LaLa and Aisha, who's not here, celebrating her birthday.
I
Happy
thought
birthday.
cinnamon works. I'm getting started to wonder.
No problem. Well, that's why there's instant replay. Yeah, there she goes. She said, yes, so sorry I worked late. There you go. So there you go. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Even 1 second, it all counts in the big world. So before we go any further, LaLa Key, How
You
can
can
people get a
find me.
hold?
I jumped the gun, didn't I?
There you go. You're here. You're here. You got it.
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm done with Twitter. And
Ooh,
Threads has actually
yay.
now been fixed, guys. Threads has now been fixed. So I look forward to
I
seeing
know.
you
I
there.
got to go on more.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
There you go.
YouTube.
So just Realty Goddess everywhere for LaLa. And then
Yes.
Jill Jones.
I think I'm at Jill Jones Music, Instagram, and Threads. You can
There
find
you
me,
go. There
and
you
on
go.
Facebook too. So
All right. And then myself, there are myriad places. Early on, I said I'm very Googleicious. So you can find me at all these places, the drvibeshow.com website, email dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, The Dr. Vibe Show, Twitter/X at drvibeshow, and then also Instagram at the drvibeshow.com. Excuse me. You can watch replays on the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and then the Dr. Vibe Show website. There you go. So a few last things before we close it down. As always, please subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button so you notify people when we go live, and share it out. Share it out. Also, like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. If you want to advertise your business, product, or service on the platform, email dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. And last but not least, join the Discord group. LaLa actually put up multi-purpose LaLa put up a nice little chart about royalty rates while we were talking about it during the last story about Diddy. So check it out. And also within the next, probably right after this, I'll put a link for a question. So we're going to put more and more survey questions to the audience in the Discord group. And hope I'm speaking it by the next show. We'll have the date where we'll have a private chat, private little get together with the Discord family. And even if they want, they can come on camera if they wish, and we can have a nice little conversation. And it will not, I was going to say it's not going to be recorded. Probably best say it. We don't record it. We'll talk about that. So let's finish off with this. Live your life as a dream. Live your life like a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions. Aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourselves grace and don't just manage your time. Manage your energy. And look at this. Fitness IQ. I'm camera shy. I don't believe you because you host a show every Saturday and we see your face. So you can't get away with that. Sorry. Ain't gonna happen. Not gonna happen. And Cinnamon Canela puts sunshine. Yes, sunshine. There we go. All right. God bless. Peace well. Keep the faith. Walk good. And join the Discord group and tell other people about the show. God bless. Peace well. Keep the faith and walk good.